Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live today. We'll get started in a couple minutes. Monse, thank you for joining the live. We'll just wait a couple more minutes to get some people on the live, and then we'll go ahead and get started with today's topic. What happened in the stock market today? What happened in the news? What's moving the market? Did the market move? Did the market not move? What to expect? And everything that all the updates that happened today. So we'll get started in a couple minutes. Hello, guys. Good night. How's everyone doing? Hope you guys are having a great night today. User 7164, thank you for joining the live. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, everyone who is barely joining the live, thank you guys for being here today. Today we are getting ready to talk about what happened in the market, the stock market today, and just see what talk about what to expect for tomorrow. So we'll get started in a couple minutes. I'm just waiting for a couple more people to join the live. Let's see, HyperX. Okay, just making sure, testing my audio, making sure that everything is working. Okay, so dun 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 dun. Okay, everyone who's just joined the live, thank you guys for being here. If you're new to the channel, my name is Gerardo. I am a swing trader, and I also invest in the long term. That is what I do on the side, though. My full-time job is something else. This is just what I do on the side. I study the markets, eventually to become a full-time trader. For now, I still enjoy what I do, and I want to continue to do it. But I enjoy talking about the market, the news, the economy, what's going on, and the economics around the world, and I like to inform people who are invested in the market and see how they're doing in the day, if they are making some profit selling stocks, or they're investing long term. Also, mainly for people who've never been in the stock market or involved in the stock market and they want to get started. I hope that I can give some motivation so that they can get started. I don't sell anything. I'm just here to spend a couple hours with everyone who is trying to join the market and basically make some money on the side, or maybe do this for a living in the future. So thank you for joining the live. Thank you guys, everyone who is here tonight. Kevin, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So if you guys are new to the channel and are joining today for the first time, I'm always here Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. So if you just joined the live, welcome, and I hope that you guys enjoy what we're gonna talk about today. So let's go ahead and get started with the live. Taylor's content. Hey, what's a good thing to invest with a 200 budget? Taylor, it depends. Are you looking to leave it there for like 10 years, 20 years? If that's the case, to make it consistent, I would say S&P 500, which is an ETF. An ETF is just like a basket where you put in a lot of, or where you have a lot of stocks, very small amounts of the most powerful 500 stocks in the case of the S&P 500 or the SPY. So as you can see here, let me erase all this crap. So as you can see here, it's this is the S&P 500. This is an ETF that has the 500 most powerful and rich companies, and and this is one of the perfect stocks to invest in long term. Why do I say long term? Because typically this stock doesn't move very much. I mean, it always goes up, it pulls back a little bit, but historically always goes up. Okay, so it is the best place to put your money in a safe way. Okay, because it might go down, but it always recovers 100%. Sometimes it takes a month, like in the case of What happened with the tariffs a month ago? If you heard about it, that the stock market dropped. This stock went from being a $600 stock to being a $480 stock. So a lot of people who bought at the 480 or 475, I think that was the lowest. Well, now they are in the positive because this stock is back to 592. Because, like I said, historically, I don't say that. It's just based on the history of this stock since the 60s or the 40s. It's always given back 100% of the money back. So that would be the safest bet to invest in the long term. Financial well, thank you for the comment. Thank you guys who just joined the live. Appreciate it. If you guys are here, we're just here to talk about the markets, talk about what happened today, analyze a couple stocks, and I'm just gonna let some people join. Then I'm going to just talk a little bit about some news that were released today. Today there was not a lot of data that moved to the markets. It was just pretty much a choppy day, a very dead day. Most of the stocks, wherever they open, that's where they close at the end of the day. So, but there were a couple of different things that were in the news. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Not that long. I would say 3 to 6 months. Taylor, when you talk about invest, you are talking about um, long term. Now, if you're talking about trading, that's a whole different thing. But with trading comes a lot of risk because you could earn money, but you could also lose money. So, as you know, if you earn a lot of money, you could lose a lot of money. So trading is a little bit more risky unless you have the education to do it and you know what stocks to invest in, and you can read charts like the one you see up here with all of these candles. If you know how to do that, then maybe trading could be profitable for you, but it does require a little bit of time to get familiar with how to read charts and how to invest, how to trade this kind of stocks, because 3 to 6 months typically doesn't offer a lot of return, unfortunately. So there's no way you can get rich in 3 to 6 months. You could get rich in 10 to 20 years. Okay, that is something that is almost guaranteed. Okay, and I say almost because we never know. Big events like wars um, or the trading battle that the United States has with other countries, um, the trade war. Things like that could happen that could send the stocks down, but in most cases, you would be profitable in the long term. But 3 to 6 months, I think it's a very short period of time for you to become wealthy, um, if you try to invest in the S&P 500. So you might see some returns. You might be a little bit in the negative, but it's not enough time to help your money grow. Um, All right. Well, thank you guys for being here today again. And let's go ahead and get started. Before I answer any questions, I just want to share a couple of things with you guys. Let me drop the volume on my music. Let's see. Let's go here. All right. So let's start with a couple of things that happened today in the news. So Trump did announce earlier that he was going to talk about something. He didn't say anything. Before he actually had that press conference, he didn't say what he was going to talk about. And then when he came out, he just announced that he's building what he calls a golden dome, which is like a defense mechanism that he's going to use against missiles in case we're ever attacked by other countries. This event didn't really move the market. I was expecting him to announce like a deal with another country because so far they have only announced the pause of tariffs with China, and also the deal with the United Kingdom. But other than that, they haven't really announced anything else. So I was expecting him to drop some other news that would move the market. Before he started talking, the market started dropping a little, like around 12. Most of the big stocks, they started dropping. The S&P 500 started dropping. The QQQ started dropping because you never know, right? You never know Lately, for the past couple months, what's been moving the markets are the news that the administration releases. So there was a lot of speculation of what was going to be said during this press conference. But I mean, luckily there was nothing negative, but there was nothing positive either. Trump was asked a couple questions about deals, and he just said a lot of deals are coming. He's going to announce something soon, but he didn't give a date. He didn't say anything else that really moved the markets. And I actually wrote a couple notes as he was speaking. Let's see, what else did he say? Um, he talked about the Saudi Arabia deals that he closed. He talked about bringing trillions of dollars to the U.S. because of the deals that he signed with Saudi Arabia that is going to help the economy of the United States. But I mean, that didn't really move the market because it was something that the market already knew. Because this event, as you guys may recall, happened last week, Wednesday, Thursday of last week. So that didn't move the market because the market had already, counted that as part of positive news. So that was pretty much it as far as the news from the administration. Now, something else that was also announced, or more like an interview, um, that happened between Elon Musk and CNBC. He was interviewed. I want to say maybe around 1 or 2 p.m. and they asked him a couple things. Okay, what they asked him has to do with Tesla. If you guys are investing in Tesla, or if you guys are also investing in Nvidia. So let's talk about Tesla. So the Tesla has the release of the Robo Taxi next month. I think I said it in the lives yesterday and also last week that they announced the release of the Robo Taxi a couple months ago. Ever since the news about that a couple months ago, we hadn't heard anything. I hadn't heard anything about the Robo Taxi. It was just all speculation that they were going to deliver in June, and today he confirmed that the Robo Taxi is actually coming out towards the end of June in Texas. And it's gonna be a self-driving car. As you guys probably already know, the robotaxi is going to be a self-driving car, which means kind of like the Uber, right? When you on your phone, request an Uber, but you have a driver, and the driver comes and picks you up. This is going to be very similar, except that nobody's going to be driving. So the car is going to get to your location, pick you up, take you wherever you need to go, and drop you off. No, it's a type of car that doesn't have a steering wheel, doesn't have pedals. There is nothing. There is just a big screen in the middle for you to like entertain yourself while you're riding, to your destination, and that's it. That's pretty much all you see in the car. I don't have a picture of that. I know they showed it, a while back, but when they confirm the design, I'll share one with you in on my bio. So if you guys haven't followed me yet, follow my TikTok, and I'll be posting as soon as I find out more news about this, and what the actual final product looks like. I'll be posting that on my TikTok. So hit the follow if you guys haven't done it yet, so that you can stay up to date on Tesla. So basically, that's what he said about the robotaxi. So it is coming. There will be about, I think he said, 1,000 robotaxis in June, and then he plans to have more towards the end of the year. I think he said 100,000 is the goal by the end of 2025. So 100 robotaxis circulating, and you're gonna be able to buy one and put that taxi to work as if it was your Uber, and you could just be at home, put the taxi to work, and it goes pick up people and drop people off. The taxi will come back to your house automatically, and then just put it to charge, send it to work again. That's the broad idea, no, of what you'll be able to do with taxi. So after he released those news, it was after market, so I don't think that really moved the market. I didn't check Tesla, so let's check it out right now. So it didn't really move. Tesla stayed within that range. I mean, it opened today at 347, closed at 343, so it didn't really move. But because of these good news, and if the market is on the same page, as Tesla, I think we might see a move on the speculation that this robo taxi is going to be a hit, because that's all Tesla is riding on. It's just riding on speculation because earnings were bad. Last time they reported earnings, and other than the robo taxi, Tesla is not selling more cars, and that's what Tesla gets a revenue from cars, and they're not selling a lot of cars. So there a lot of people are expecting the robo taxi to really deliver and bump up the car sales. So um, didn't really move the stock, the news on the robo taxi, but that's what happened today. Now, on the other hand, uh, Elon also talked about buying chips from Nvidia and AMD. And if you guys stayed up to date with Nvidia or are investing in Nvidia or AMD, these are the two biggest companies that sell chips for artificial intelligence. And he said, I watched a little bit of the interview. He said he's buying about a million. I think he said a million. I think he did. He said a million of chips, either from Nvidia and AMD or both together. He didn't specify, but I think he was leaning more towards Nvidia because of the powerful Blackwell chip that Nvidia has that he needs to build the cars, to build the plants, and so he said he's buying about a million of Nvidia chips, and of course, the this means that Nvidia is going to get more revenue from Tesla in the future. So they'll probably be mentioning that when Nvidia has earnings on the guidance, because they will be expecting more revenue than what was anticipated before by analysts. So that was pretty much everything that Elon released. I think he even took a ride from the on the uh, on the robo taxi. I didn't see that part. He like got in the taxi and had the taxi take him somewhere. I think that's what I read, but I didn't see the video, so I don't know if that actually happened. So those were the news. Those were the highlights of today. Other than that, nothing else happened, and you guys probably noticed that the market didn't really move much. I mean, it tried to dip, but it recovered pretty much all the everything that it lost. I mean, a spy. I mean, you can see this candle here. It's I mean, it didn't really move. It opened at 593 in the morning, closed at 592. After market, I think. Let me see what does it look like after market. Spy after market, it's at 591 right now. So didn't really move at all. Tomorrow they don't have a lot of news either, like a lot of data. So unless the administration comes out and has something positive that moves the market, then I might see a pump. But other than that, there's nothing else that tells me that the market is going to move either up or down tomorrow. So we're not depending on anything tomorrow. So that was it. That was all the news or the main things that happened today that move markets. So I don't know if you guys stayed up to date, but if you heard anything else, drop it here in the comments, and we'll look at the other news. So let's go ahead and start reading some comments. What do you think about qubits? Let's see. Didn't I look at that the other day? QBTS. Let's see. QBTS. Wave quantum. I think I did. QBTS right here. So here's the thing with quantum computing. Okay, and I mean it looks like it moved, and I think mainly it might be because of the events that are happening in Taiwan, where they have like a technology conference. I don't know if that's why it moved. I'm not sure. But here's the thing with quantum. Okay, I don't know why it moved today, but I do know that as of now, quantum is just speculation. Okay, it's a powerful technology. It'll be here maybe to change the world because according to what quantum can do, it can do what a computer that we have now will take. I think they say like 6,000 or 60,000 years to get it done. Quantum chips and quantum computing will get it done in 5 minutes. Okay, so as far as what it can do and how that can be profitable, we don't know yet. I mean, you don't know, I don't know. I don't think the companies that invented the technology know exactly how they can make this profitable. They do see it with a lot of potential, but of course, we don't know. This is one of those stocks that you can maybe buy a little bit, get exposed, and if it goes to 1,000, great, you were a little exposed. But if it drops to zero because nothing happened with that technology, maybe you just lost a little bit because you were trying to play the lottery. As of now, that's what it is. It's a lottery because it's a new technology, and whenever you have new technology, you never know where it's gonna go. If more companies get into quantum, then I mean, you know what happened with the internet bubble back in 2000, where the internet was a new thing, and then a lot of companies were created that offered internet, and before you knew it, you had thousands of companies that offer internet, and that made all the stocks drop because now you had a lot of competition, and the stocks were not worth what people thought they were worth. So it might happen to this. I don't know. Again, I'm just speculating, just like the technology in quantum computing. So if you're exposed and you don't mind losing the money in the future in case it doesn't work, then I mean you're trying to see if it does in fact make you a profit. So that's my opinion on quantum. Again, if you want to trade it and make some money, the only thing is that when you trade this kind of stock, because it doesn't have fundamentals, because it's such a new stock, either quantum or Rigetti or QBTS or any company that is connected to quantum, because they're such a new stocks, they don't have a history, so they could just go all the way up and come down as hard. So I'll be very careful, just because if you put in a lot of money, will that let you sleep at night? Knowing that this stock could drop any minute, because you don't have the fundamentals, or the companies don't have the fundamentals. So uh, that's the way I look at it. If if I'm 100% sure, and there's just no doubt that for me that this company is gonna go to the moon, then by all means. But if there's a little doubt because I have no clue what I'm doing and I'm just playing the lottery with stuff like this, then I know that one day I'm just gonna be thinking about it when I go to sleep, because I'm scared that I'm gonna lose my money, and then I'm gonna wake up checking my stocks in the morning to see if it dropped, to see if it went up. And when you do stuff like that, then it starts to affect your personal life. And if that's the case, why do that to yourself? So those are my thoughts on QBTS and quantum. Definitely, possibly has a lot of potential, but again, we don't know. Where is this site? I want to start. Juan Salgado, what site? Like my live, or the chart that I'm looking at? The chart I'm looking at is called TradingView, but this is a paid service that I use so that I know where the stocks are going, when it's a good time to trade, and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's what you mean. Space, what do you think about? Are these good stocks? Let me check one of them, because it seems like all of them probably are in the same sector. MSTY. MSTY. Title, Trust, Yieldmax, MSTR option, income. Is this the one? Income strategy. I don't even know what this does, man. Computer processing, electronic. So I don't know what the computer or what this stock does, but I can read the technicals, and this is for space. I can read the technicals and tell you, maybe if it's a good stock or not. Doesn't have a long history, so it seems like it just went public not that long ago, probably like a year ago. So when you have new companies that go public, they tend to pump at the beginning and then drop, because there's no data to back them up and to know where they might go. So this stock, as you can see, it's not. It hit a resistance somewhere at $44 twice. That's a double top, and from there it's been there since November of 2024, and it dropped. It tried to recover with a higher low, and then it just it's still dropping. So there's not a lot of history on this stock. On the 4 hour chart, it is, see, it's trending a little bit above the 200, so it's kind of respecting that 200 moving average. But I don't know, man. I mean, you know better this company better than I do. I don't know what the fundamentals are. What does this company do? Does he have a future? Does he have good earnings? I'm gonna drop a couple of videos later on my profile about how to tell if a company is a good company. Okay, because I know a lot of people ask that question, like, is this a good company or is this not a good company? So I'm gonna drop some videos just so that with the very basics of how can you study a company to tell whether it's a good company to invest in or it's not a good company to invest in. And when I say good or bad, is does it bring revenue, right? Does it bring in more revenue than the money they spend? Because all the companies have debt, but there are some companies that have more debt than the money they produce. And I mean, right there, it's a red flag, right? If they have more debt than the money they make, that's red flag number one. Red flag number two, what is their price to earnings ratio? What is the P ratio? Okay. Then what is um, the free cash flow? Do they have a lot of money to pay for debt, to pay for employees? So all of those little things, you have to look at the company before you decide to enter it. If you want to play a company safe and you want your money to be safe, if you just want to play the lottery, I mean, you just put it into a company and hope that it goes up, but that's not consistent. Sometimes you might win, sometimes you might lose. And when you win, you're not gonna know how you won, and if you lose, you're not gonna know why you lost. Okay? And believe me, I've done that. I've done this, and you lose more times than you win when you trade companies that you have no clue what they do and you have no clue of um, of the fundamentals of the company. So that's just my thought on those stocks. So you gotta get familiar with the stocks. Juan, thank you for the follow, Juan. Salman, today was as slow as hell. Yeah, I know. I was just talking about that. The stock seemed like it wanted to drop in the morning, then it pumped, and then it dropped before Trump talked around 12 p.m. Pacific time, and it kind of stayed flat all day. So it dropped, it pumped, it dropped again a little bit, and it just kind of stayed there. And as of now, I mean, futures are dropping a little bit, so they don't look too bad to me. The SPY is around 590, so it dropped a couple dollars, but nothing that tells me that tomorrow we're gonna wake up either red or green. So we're still kind of in the same spot. With trading, you lose 80% of the time. Um, Salman, you mean like day trading? I mean, day trading is definitely more risky than swing trading. So with swing trading, if you know what you're doing and you're choosing the right companies, you might have some more chances. But I mean, even day trading, if you're educated on day trading, I know people who day trade and they lose, but they profit, more often than the times that they lose. So it all depends what kind of trading you do, and if you are educated on that specific trade. Taylor, thank you for the advice. No problem. It's just what I think. I wish the best luck to you, and I hope that you can get into investing in long term. Because if you want to hit retirement early, that's the way. Uh, Evelyn, follow the host. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. And guys, if I'm answering your question and you like the response, I would appreciate if you guys can give me a like. That helps me a lot. Helps me with the algorithm for the channel so that I can get more people to follow me. So appreciate that, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get going with the questions. Uh, Big Bag Light, are you swinging calls? Um, well, I'm a swing trader. I do covered calls. That's why I had here up here because I wanted to explain covered calls. Probably in about 20 minutes, I'm gonna explain what covered calls are and how this could be another way to make money. And this is more for people that already have shares, because you need to have shares, 100 shares, in order to do cover calls. So I'll explain a little bit about that, and I'm also going to drop a video on my profile just so that I can show people how they can make money, not only selling stocks but also doing cover calls. And if you don't know what that is, I'm going to explain that in a minute. The emphasis, follow me. Thank you for the emphasis for the follow. Appreciate it. The trader news update. Um, Today was a red day. I'm thinking tomorrow slight reddish upon open, recovering back to green. Possibly the trader. It was pretty choppy today. It dropped. The SPY seemed like he wanted to drop to maybe 585, 587, and I think at one point it did today. So if we look at see the daily chart, um, yeah, so it hit about 589 at one point, and then it recovered to like 593, and it just closed at around 592. Right now it's at 590. I mean, but those are the futures. Futures don't really give you accurate information, so we'll know tomorrow. I do believe that it's probably going to be choppy tomorrow. There's nothing, there are no updates, there are no news tomorrow, so I don't think it's going to move the market a lot unless there are news by the administration. But they didn't mention anything today. But again, sometimes they just announce stuff and they don't tell anyone. We just find out when it happens. All right. Next was follow the host. Rosario, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. And again, guys, thank you for the likes. If you guys tap the screen, I answered your question. I appreciate you guys tapping the screen. That again helps with the algorithm, and I can get more people to follow the channel. So thank you for the likes. You won't get calls or put tomorrow for SPY. Rosario, no. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get out of my positions. I am positive on Nvidia. I bought the dip when it went down, and I kept buying as it went down. So now I'm in the positive, and I'm trying to get out of it by possibly tomorrow. I don't think it's gonna push and break resistance. So my goal is to get out of it somewhere around the 140, but I don't think it's gonna get there. We're getting very close to Friday, and I definitely don't want to wait. Don't want to wait until earnings next Wednesday. So I'm just trying to get out of that for now, and that's all I'm doing. I'm not buying anything for now until I sell my positions on Nvidia. Darwin, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Rosario, thank you. Yep, thank you. Space follow, thank you for the follow, Space, and thank you for the likes, guys. Again, if you guys are tapping the screen, I'm answering your question. That's the only charge for being in this channel. For me, that's all I charge. And please, if you have questions, shoot away. TMC, Kadima, TMC. Let's look at TMC. 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 I'm assuming this is the one. TMC, Nasdaq. It's a Nasdaq company. What do they do? Minerals. So a mineral company. I don't know much about this. It looks like it's got a big pump. It's got a big pump, but it also had a big drop. Okay, so if you can see, all-time highs is at around $12, and from there, and that was back in 21. Since 21, it has been dropping, trying to recover a little bit, pumping to like $3. Now it's at $4. So I don't know if you're trying to make a profit out of this, but just look at the wiggle room, right? Look at the small room that it has to move. This type of stocks typically don't move a lot. You can see it, by yourself in several days. It went from $2 to $4, which is, 100% gain. But if it's a choppy stock, it could get you stock in that range within $2 and $4. As of now, like I said, I don't know if they had good news on something and that's why it's pumping. I'm assuming because of the tariffs. If this is a minerals company and metals, I'm assuming because of the tariffs, this stock started to move a little bit more aggressively. But other than that, I don't know if this company had good news. All I can see is that it is at 456, and I don't see it's hard to see resistance here. It has some resistance at 410, but it already broke that resistance. So now that resistance is gonna become support. It has some more resistance at $5, somewhere around there. So again, it seems like it's recovering a little. It depends on your horizon. If you're waiting, if you're trying to swing trade it or invest this in the long term because you believe in the company. If it happens, I mean, it could go again to where it started to drop. See, that's not what I tried to do with my phone. There we go. Which was at around $10, but I think it's got a long way to go there because it's been moving, but it's moving pretty slow. Space, thank you for the follow again. A SPY expected to dip more in upcoming days. Period. I don't know, man. The SPY, it has to do either one of two things, right? I mean, it sounds cliche, but it's true. Um, it's been ranging from 585 to 595 within that range for the past couple of days, and if it drops, it has to fill in this gap that you see here in purple, because that's a gap that we had for about two no about a week now. um, Last week it left this gap, and gaps always fill. So if we have bad news on whatever it is, right? If the administration comes out and say, "Hey, we don't have a deal with this country," then that might drop SPY and then go to fill in the gap, which is at around 570 to 577, somewhere around that range, and maybe stay there. Depends on what kind of news we get. If it's just something temporary, then it'll range between that gap and then maybe shoot back up. Because I mean, it's been the stock market has been trying to recover all-time highs, which is at around 610 for the SPY. Um, Again, at this point, we're just dependent on the news. So we just gotta wait, see what news we get. Rosario, period. I think so. Rowan. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So you won't get calls or put tomorrow for SPY? No, Rosario. No, I'm not. I'm not. Like I said, I'm not. I'm not doing much with calls. The only thing that I might do, depends on how the market moves, is a cover call for Google. I have Google. I'm not selling Google. I just been doing cover calls for the past few weeks and just getting some money out of Google for that. Today I actually had a cover call and then the stock dropped, so I just sold my contracts again. I'm sorry, I sold my contracts and then I bought my contracts back. So I made like $200 on Google in like an hour, um, just because the stock dropped suddenly. I don't know why it dropped. Because Google had an event today where they announced smart glasses, and I think they focus also on their AI, which is Gemini, I think it's called. Um, and to me, they were all good news. I have no idea what the stock dropped. I didn't see any news of why Google dropped a couple dollars in matter of maybe an hour. Um, so it was all good news. So I think it sold off a little bit, and I just bought my contracts back. So I just made like $200, but I don't plan to enter into anything else other than getting a cover call maybe with Google tomorrow if I see it moving up. Any input on space? I think I checked one of those, right? MSTY. I checked that stock. I can check another one. XTI. What is XTI? XTI. Is that the ticker symbol? Because I don't have it on my platform. XTI, XTI, or is it XTL? Uh, is this the one? This is an ETF? Let me look at another one. PTIX. TIX. Sounds like weird. Okay, so this one came up. Let's see. I mean, let's see the technicals. I would not try to enter into a position like this. Me personally, I all I see is a drop in a downtrend. I mean, you could see this stock being all the way up here at 100 in 3 years. It's been dropping for 3 years, and then you're trying to enter into a stock that's been dropping for 3 years. That's a little dangerous for me to enter into something like this that's been in a downtrend for so long, because nothing tells me here that it's going to continue to move up. As you can see in this latest move, yesterday, probably was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday it pumped, but as soon as it pumped, it dumped. You know, and just think about a lot of traders who look at this kind of stuff, because it's not only you, it's millions of traders that, or hundreds of thousands, that are looking at this kind of stock. So as soon as they see this green candle, you know what they do? They just short the stock. They short it because they want to make some profit out of your money, and that's exactly what happened here. So they probably saw the that a lot of traders were trying to buy this, and thinking it's gonna go higher, and they just shorted the stock, and that's why it dropped today. It is touching the 200 SMA, so I don't know if it's gonna bounce off from there. We'll have to wait and see tomorrow. But I mean, in the long term, this stock has been dropping and it's in a downtrend. So I don't know how much money you could make in a stock that's been trending for a very long time. So very dangerous trade. Try to find stocks. This is just personal opinion. I try to find stocks that are moving in an uptrend, not in a downtrend. Okay, that at least tells me that if the stock pulls back, I know it's in an uptrend, unless it breaks that uptrend. But at least I know when to get out if I see that stock breaking the uptrend. In this case, it's in a downtrend. I don't see any potential for this stock. Um, let's see how you buy calls. Sweet Stephanie, it depends. You talking about covered calls? I'll explain that in like 10 minutes. So if that's what you're talking about, I can explain that. If you're talking about options, I don't do options. Rosario, thanks. No problem. Do you think I should continue buying UNH? I got about 100 at 314 and 80 at 275. Man, you put in some massive money into that. Like 100 shares at 314. Really? Well, here's my thought about UNH. Okay, so let me pull it here. And again, guys, if you guys are enjoying my answers, please tap the screen, give me some likes, help me create a better algorithm for my live so that I can get more people, to view and watch my videos. So appreciate you guys being here, appreciate the likes, and let's take a look at UNH. So UNH, United Health. United Health went from being a $600 stock to being a $255 stock. So it lost 55% of its value in less than a month, or in about a month. Now, there was a reversal sometime last week, I believe, on Thursday, because of insider buying. So the CEO of United Health bought, I think, like $20 million of dollars worth of stock, and then the CFO of United Health bought about $10 million. So that kind of pumped the stock up, and motivated other investors to start putting money into United Health. Now, why did United Health drop? Well, it dropped because it had an investigation where it had several things. They did not release a guidance, which means that they don't know how much money and revenue they're going to bring in for the next quarter because of price fluctuation and all of this stuff that's happening with medication that the administration of Trump, they committed to lower the prices of drugs in the United States, and that kind of affects United Health too, because now they're gonna have to sell drugs for a lower price, and that affects their revenue, and so all of that stuff affected the guidance. So they did not release a guidance, and that tells investors that, hey, we don't know where the stock is gonna go, we don't know how much money we're gonna make in the next 3 months, So a lot of investors, they don't want uncertainty, so they just leave the company. Okay, they say, well, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna pull my money out, and whenever you have an idea when you're going to have, the earnings for the next 3 months, when you know how much money you're gonna make for the next 3 months, then we'll come back and we'll start buying the stock again. But for now, I'm not gonna mess with that because I have no idea how much money you're gonna make in the next 3 months. I'm taking my millions, and we're talking about institutions, okay, not traders like you and I. We're talking about institutions, companies that have millions and millions of dollars invested into this type of stocks. Those are the ones that walk away when there is uncertainty in a stock. Then on top of that, the CEO stepped down. He left the company without notice. He just suddenly quit because of personal reasons. And then the third thing, that was the last nail on the coffin. That was the DOJ. Um, who was the one that released the article? I forgot. I think there was some newspaper that released an article about United Health being investigated by the Department of Justice because of fraud with Medicare. So according to that article, they were inflating prices so they could charge more for treatments and stuff like that to Medicare, and that is a big red flag for the stock. So all of those news, made the stock go all the way to 255. So now, Period is asking, or he asked me earlier, um, is this a good time to buy? Now, this stock hasn't hasn't really released any news about whether this is true or not, whether the DOJ is investigating them or not, or if they committed fraud or not. They did say that there's no fraud, but I mean that's what any company would say. But we haven't had any clarity or clarification on what really is going on with that fraud allegation. No, until we get news on that, then we can say, okay, it's a good time to start putting in money into this company because now we know there's nothing wrong with it. Because if the DOJ comes out and says, hey, we are really actually investigating this company, then the stock is gonna drop again. So right now there's a lot of uncertainty. That's why a lot of the institutions are not coming back to this stock yet. Most of the trading and most of the people that have put money into it is the insiders. Now the insiders, they have information, right, that you and I don't. So maybe they do trust the company and they know there's nothing wrong with it. That's why they bought it. The CEO and the CFO bought a lot of millions in stock. That might be the case. I don't know, but we don't know, and I don't like to play stuff that I don't know. So for now, I wouldn't enter into the stock. I would wait. But period. If you're already in, and you have a good average, I mean, by all means, man, give it a try. It's you obviously did your research, and in the long term, I think this company should be fine, right? And it might take a year, 2 years to recover. It might recover immediately. I don't know, but in the long term, I think it'll be fine because this is such a great and big company in the healthcare sector. So it should be fine in the long term. All right, let me continue with the questions. What do you think about ACWI? Jay Cordero, ACWI. What is that, man? ACWI. I learned like new stocks that you guys trade that I've never heard of. See, ACWI. What does this do? Investment trust, mutual. Oh, it's a mutual fund company. See, I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's been in an uptrend for a while now, for years. So, I mean, it took a dip just like most of the stocks when the tariffs were announced, but it's in an uptrend. So this is what I'm talking about. When somebody asked earlier about a stock and that stock was in a downtrend, this stock is in an uptrend. So you guys see that? You see the big difference going from, see, from right here, from bottom, right, from bottom to top, and it's been respecting, see, this uptrend for a very long time. So even if it's had some dips, at certain points, it is in that uptrend. So no matter if you buy, somewhere maybe close to the 200 SMA or the 50, this stock has been moving in the right direction. Now, if the stock was to make a move, somewhere like this, and then hit the support and then broke it and started trending like this, then now it's in a downtrend. Now it's a dangerous bet to put your money in there because you don't know if it's gonna break the resistance again to continue the uptrend. But as of now, I mean, it looks pretty good. This is again iShares. So if you're invested in this stock, who asked me that? That was Jay Cordero. So I mean, if you're invested in this stock long term, it looks pretty good, man. The uptrend looks good. The I don't know the fundamentals of the company, of these mutual funds, but at least the technicals here they look pretty good. Once the stock breaks resistance, then that turns it to support. Yeah, yeah. So if a stock breaks resistance, that becomes support, and vice versa. If it breaks support, that becomes resistance. So as of now, I mean, I can give you a good example. Nvidia, that's the main one I'm waiting for, and that's the one I've been tracking for the past week. It has, as you can see, it has resistance at. Let me make this a little bigger. It has resistance at 135, 136. I mean, you could see here the daily candles hitting that resistance for 1, 2, 3, 4. Today it didn't really hit there, but it's still in that range, and it hasn't been able to break that resistance. Now, if it does break it, so if it breaks that resistance, it's probably gonna go up here, hit the new resistance, and then maybe bounce back to that line that became support. Okay, so sometimes the stocks do something like this, where get rid of that, where they break resistance, they try to get to the new resistance, and then they come back, they hit the now support, and then they eventually try to hit the next resistance. So sometimes they do that depending on the momentum, depending on the news. But those are typically the moves that stocks make when they break resistance. What's it? Dragorian. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. And appreciate the calls. Appreciate the follows. Appreciate the likes. If I answer your questions, guys, if you tap the live, again, that helps me a lot. And thank you for sharing the live. If you guys are sharing the lives, that again helps me with getting a better algorithm and getting more viewers. So that is that is appreciated as well. After confirmation that it will stay above, it usually that's the case, but sometimes it's just a test. Jay Cordero, yeah. So absolutely. So I know you responded to period. So yeah, absolutely agree with you. Can you check DNA, please? Dylan, DNA. What is DNA? Ginkgo Bioworks Holdings. Let's see, really quick. See daily chart. It's trending below the 200. I can tell you right away. Any stock trending below the 200, it's still really dangerous to trade because that acts as a big resistance most of the time. It needs to break that and then claim it as support to know that it's going to keep moving up. For now, I mean, it's been downtrending under the 200 SMA. So be careful with that if you're trying to invest in this stock. I can see that it's been also in a downtrend for a very long time, and it's man, where does this end? It's a stock that was worth like $400 back in 2022, and now it's trading at $7.99. So you make your judgment. I'll let you, I'll let you choose whether you think it's a good stock. If it was worth 400 and now it's worth 7, You know, you want to do the opposite way. You want to trade stocks that were worth that at one point were worth $7 and now they're worth 100 or 200, because you know that's an uptrend and they're probably going to keep moving up. Even though they're expensive stocks, you know the trend is your friend, right? That's a common saying in trading. The trend is your friend. Uh, SYTA. I was waiting. That's that. I was waiting for someone to ask me about that. I checked this stock the other day. I did a little research on it because a lot of people were asking about it, and I wanted to share my thoughts on this. Actually, one of my friends, he said he made couple $1,000s in this stock, and I wanted to share what I think about stocks like this, and hopefully, you know, this can help some of you guys decide what to do with stocks like SYTA. So I'll try to make it brief. So this stock had what they are called a reverse split. Okay, a reverse split, simply put it in easy terms, means that if you own 10 shares of the stock, when they do a reverse split, like a 10-to-1 reverse, instead of you owning 10 shares, now you only own one. The value of the stock increases, of the one share increases. Let's say, just to give you easy numbers, let's say each stock was worth $1 and you own 10, so you owed $10, right? So 10 stocks, $10, $1 each. And they did a reverse split, so now you only own one stock, but it's worth $10. Okay, so you don't lose any money, but you only have now one share that's worth $10. So that's what this stock did. They did a reverse split. I don't know how many times. I'm not familiar with this company, but I know for sure they did a reverse split, and that was just to comply with the Nasdaq so that they wouldn't get delisted. Okay, because the Nasdaq has some regulations that each one of the companies they have to comply. Otherwise, they get delisted, and then you cannot trade them in the stock market. You can trade them somewhere else. I'm not sure where they go. I haven't investigated that part, but I know they get kicked out of the Nasdaq, and you have to trade them somewhere else. So that's what happened with this stock. That's why you could see that it was worth like 4,000, and then now it's worth $8. Now it did have a pump today. Let me make this a little bigger. So for people that bought it at like $1 or $2, I mean, you made some profits, right? If you bought it like somewhere at a dollar 20, even if you bought it at $3, it had some. You have some profits. But here's the thing. I mean, just look at the chart, right? You don't have to be brilliant. You don't have to be an expert in stocks. Why did it jump so much? Does it have good news? Is this company turning things around? Is it going to make more money? Like, why is it that it jumped that much? And as you guys can see here on this chart, I mean, look at this jump here too, right? Back in not that long ago, I mean, October of last year, it had a big pump all the way to $28. So from $8, it went all the way to 28. And then it dropped down very hard to like $10. And from there, it kept going down. It kept going down. It kept going down. Now we were at a $1, and it pumped all the way to 8. Could this go to 11? Possibly. Could this go to 20? Possibly. But on what data? Okay, on what data is it going up? Why is it pumping so much? Stocks don't move that way. Okay, good stocks, good companies don't do a pump and dump. They don't just go up, up, up. You know, 500%, 1,000%. They don't do that. Okay, and when they do, they're just gonna drop as hard. Get that through your head. If you're trading stocks and you see stocks moving from from $1 to $9 to $10 in a matter of 2 days, that is a stock that is a pump and dump. That is the perfect stock for you to lose all your money. Because if you buy because now everyone's talking about it. Everyone's talking about this stock. Probably I saw it on social media today. From me not hearing anything about this stock to suddenly everyone is talking about SIDA or SIDA or whatever you call it, SYTA. Everyone's talking about it now. So when people start to talk about it, then they get into what we call FOMO, fear of missing out. Right? You guys probably have heard that term. And what's gonna happen is a lot of people, because they hear of it, like you're gonna start buying into this stock, and then the sharks, the guys that are experts on this, pros, they will short the stock. Why? Because they know that a lot of people are gonna buy into it, and people are just gonna start to short the stock. So when the stock starts to drop a little and it hits those targets for those guys that are shorting the stock, it's just gonna go down as hard. Okay. So sorry, I think I went a little longer than I wanted to on this stock, but that is what I believe about these kind of stocks. Pump and dump, pump and dump. No fundamentals. There is no information of any kind. I don't know if you see here. I don't know. Doesn't have a price to earnings ratio. Doesn't have a dividend. Well, doesn't have dividends are not that important, but doesn't have price to earnings ratio. I checked the cash flow, and I checked the what was the other thing that I checked on this stock? Let's see. I remember looking at the financials earlier because, like I said, I have friends that bought this stock, and I wanted to give them more information about it. And what did I see? Oh, the debt. So the debt and the free cash flow. At one point, it was negative. I mean, you could see it here. I don't know if you guys can see that good enough on your screen, but they have 2.45 million in debt, and the free cash flow, which means the money that they have extra to pay for employees, to pay for other stuff, is negative 1.95 million. That, again, it's another red flag. So you have a bunch of red flags with this stock. Why would you get into a stock that has this much negativity, this many bad things about it? And I mean, you're just setting yourself up for failure. If you make money in this stock and you bought at $1, $2, and now you're all the way at 7, 8, congratulations, man. But again, did you do it because you actually studied the company and because you know the fundamentals and you knew it was gonna go up? Or did you get that win because of luck? And another question that you should ask yourself: can I repeat this? Can I do it? Can I make it consistent? Can this be done every month? Can I do it next month again with another stock because I know what I'm doing? If your answer is no, I cannot replicate the win because I bought at 1 and now I'm at 8 and I'm up 1,000%. Can you replicate that win? If your answer is no, then I mean, you can make your own conclusion. Sorry. Let's keep reading the comments. Jay Cordero, thanks. I'm just trying to learn. No problem, man. Anytime. What about Netflix? Rosario, Netflix is it's one of my favorite companies, but it is very expensive. Right now, I think Netflix it's like over $1,000. I do think that Netflix is here to stay. Netflix has a lot of potential, but it's also a very expensive stock. I mean, just look at it. It's been like running up wild. A little pullback, but nothing crazy. And when a stock is been pulled away from the SMA, the 200, the 50, the 20, that much, I would just wait for it to drop and maybe buy a little bit. But right now it's very expensive for me. But it's a good stock. Same here. Let's see. Sia, thank you. Buy Hood. Hood is a good company. It's been having good news lately. So Space, thank you. You're welcome, man. See, buy Hood. Yeah. So I mean, Hood, like I said, it's been doing okay. It's buying a couple companies, so it's been growing a little. So it's starting to look a little better. But for me, I wouldn't get into Hood right now. I would wait a little longer so that it has more information that I can go off. Um, XTIA Aerospace. Let's see, XTIA Aerospace. That's a Nasdaq company. What do they do though? Technology, internet service, software. Um, I mean, kind of the same thing as a previous talk. This is space. I mean, if you were here for the talk I had with SYTA, it's kind of the same scenario. I mean, it's a stock that was worth a lot of money. It probably had a reverse split too. I mean, for what I can see, worth over 1,000, and now it's $1. Um, I mean, why would you put your money into stocks that are dropping constantly since April of last year, or let's see if we have a longer history, March of last year. So it's been dropping ever since. It's in a downtrend. I wouldn't put my money into stuff like a stock like this. See, buy hood. I'm in dollars. Tlacuachona, thank you for the gifts. If you guys are gifting and I don't see you or I don't thank you, I appreciate it. I appreciate the likes. If you guys tap the screen, I appreciate the gifts. If I don't thank you right away, so I apologize for that. But as soon as I get to it, I will recognize your gift. So thank you, Tlacuachona, for the gifts. Future Hube player, did you buy a call there? I bought 10 shares. Future for what? I missed that one. I didn't buy a call for anything yet. I've been doing covered calls for my Google shares, but nothing else. Tacochona, thank you again for the gift. Kenneth, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. If you guys haven't followed me yet and you would like to stay here for more lives during the week, I'm here Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. So 9 to 11 Pacific time. So if you guys follow me, so that you don't miss any content, and I'm dropping videos every morning just to give you the most updated news for the day. So if you're following the market, you can get those news on my videos. G has food. Thank you for the follow. Jay Cordero, share the live. Appreciate it, Jay Cordero. Thank you. And if you guys want to share the live, that much appreciated. Thank you very much. Apple prediction for tomorrow. Levi, Apple is not in a very good position right now. Their stock has been dropping because Tim Cook, which is the CEO of Apple, they are trying to move their factories from China to India, and Trump didn't really like that, so he called Tim out because he's trying to basically avoid the tariffs and moving the Apple factories from China to India. And Trump wants the factories in the United States. So that's the reason why Apple has been in that little range here. With a high of 213 and dropping to 194. So for now, there are no news of Apple other than today. Apple and Nvidia, the CEO of Nvidia, which is Jensen Huang, they were talking about how to bring factories to America without increasing the cost of their products. Okay, that's something they talked about, but of course there is no plan yet. They don't know how they're gonna make that happen, and that was it. So that's the only reason why Apple has been downtrending. There are no good news about Apple. So in the meantime, while there are no good news and nothing pumping the market, I think Apple is just gonna stay within that range of possibly 212, 213, maybe 215, which is the resistance, and dropping between that and where it is right now at 205. So I don't see big moves from Apple yet. They do have an event in June though. That usually tends to move the stock a little, with the WWDC event, because they announce the new software and future plans. They don't announce products, I don't believe. That's not until September. So until then, we might be able to see some move by when they announce the new software. I purchased 105 XTA at 70 cents and it went up to 180. Do you think I should buy more? Space. I mean, I can't tell you what to do, man. Reason is because if I say no, you should sell right now and make the profits, and then the stock goes to $10, and then you're coming back and saying, hey, what did you tell me to sell? So because I don't know, right? I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. um, all I know is this is just my personal um, opinion of what I would do, right? If I was playing a stock and I was playing the lottery with that stock, okay? And you shouldn't we shouldn't call stocks or trades like playing the lottery, because that's not the right example, right? The stocks should be things that you are educated on and that you can make consistent profits, right? Every month or every week, you should be able to create some kind of revenue that you know you're going to be able to produce that money for years to come. Now with stocks like XTIA, like a one-time thing. You'll be able to make some money now, but then can you make it next month or next year, or can that be consistent for 10 years? If the answer is no, then um, I would get out of that trade and try to put my money where I know I'm gonna be able to make some money. Maybe not as much as with XTIA, because a lot of us, when we start, we want to get rich. We want to get rich in a couple months, and that's one. I mean, this is like the question when they ask, would you take $10,000 now, or would you take a penny every time you reach into your pocket? No, I would take the penny. Most people would take the $10,000 now. And if you take that analogy and take it into the stock market, it's kind of the same thing. A lot of people, they just want to get money now, instead of saying, well, I I don't want all the money now. I want to be consistent and be able to do this for the rest of my life, where I can get money consistently every week or every month, and know that I know what I'm doing to get this money back, okay, or to make this money every every so often. So if it was me, space, and I had that money in there, I would take the profits and invest it in something else. Even if that stock goes to $10 or $100, I'd probably be hating myself for doing that. But then at the same time, I will be in peace because I don't have to look at the stock anymore, and because I know my money is safe somewhere where I know I can make it consistent, right, every week, and get some of that money consistently. What do you think of Dog We Fad? I don't know what that is, man. If you can give me the ticker symbol, I might be able to look it up in TradingView. T, follow the host. Thank you. Baby San, thank you for the follow. Alexis, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Bowie, thank you for the follow. Crystal, Saida merged with another company. That's probably why it pumped. I didn't hear that. Like I said, this is new to me. I started analyzing this not that long ago. I think a couple days ago, and but like I said, those kind of companies that pump and dump, we looked at the technicals of this company, and they don't look very good. I mean, it's been downtrending for a long time. I don't know if this partnership is going to take. It might, it totally might take this company to new highs. All I can tell you is that it's been trying to recover for a long time. I don't know if he had good news back when it pumped to $28, but then it dumped, and it pumped and it dumped, and it pumped and it dumped again back in the last time was in February, where it went to $6 from $3. It doubled in price to $6. That's 100% gain. And again, that doesn't happen with stocks. With normal stocks, with consistent stocks, stocks that most let me put it this way, and maybe this will give you a little bit more encouragement. Institutions, so people that buy stocks in the millions of dollars, they don't invest in this kind of stocks. They don't do it. And these guys, we're talking about guys that have computers, that have algorithms, that have millions of dollars in software programs that helps them choose when to sell, when to buy, right? So we're not talking about like the average person like you and I that just buy with maybe $1,000, 10,000, 100,000. We're talking about the big dogs who play with millions and millions of dollars. Um, they don't buy these type of stocks. So if the big dogs that are have these many tools, that are experts, pro. They do this for a living, day and night. They've been in the stock market for more than 30 years. Some people like Warren Buffett has been on the market for more than 80 years, and they don't buy stocks like this. Why would you? Okay. So that's all I'm going to say with that. See, where can I go find finances on a company? Period. You can check, I mean, in TradingView, if you use TradingView, I don't know what platform you use. TradingView gives you a pretty good breakdown of the finances. So if you click on, I mean, you can see here like a little summary, but if you click on more information, you start to find the overview, and then you find the finances. You know what the market cap is of the company. Market cap means how much is the company worth, based on the number of shares and what the value of the shares are. It gives you everything from the earnings, right? How much earnings, how much they earned last time they reported earnings, how much revenue they brought in. So you get all the information here. Now, I pay for this program. If you don't want to pay for anything, you can also go to Yahoo Finance. So let me show you that really quick. So if you go to Yahoo Finance, or you can simply just go to Yahoo. Let me see. You can go to Yahoo. Look at our boy right there. Hopefully he gives good news tomorrow. And then you go to finance right here. Then you can type the name of a company. Let's say Apple, AAPL, and then boom, right? You get all the info. On the left side, you have a lot of tabs that talk about financials, that talk about analysts. This is something I like to look at in Yahoo, the analysts. See what analysts are predicting for the stock. As you can see, analysts have a price target of 170 low. So that's what analysts who study and do this for a living, they said that the Apple is on the low is 170, on the high is 300. So right now it is at 206 and the average 229. So I mean, it might not be an expensive stock. I think the 300, I don't know if it's gonna hit that by the end of the year, but definitely maybe 230, 250. That'll be a reasonable price target for Apple. And then on this part here, recommendations, they give you a little bar chart where some analysts recommend either a strong buy, or a buy or a hold or a sell. And as you can see, most of them are recommending, or not recommending, but giving you the information that maybe some of them want you to hold the stock. About 20 people want you to buy the stock, and 7 want or recommend a strong buy. So you can go to Yahoo Finance. You can get all this info for free, and I look at this every now and then. So that's where you can get some more information. Let's go back to TradingView. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep answering some of the questions. And again, guys, if you like my answers, if you like the content that I have here, tap the screen, and let's continue with some more questions. Okay, I got about another 10-20 minutes left of the live, so tap the screen. I'm trying to every day when I'm in the live hit at least 10,000 likes and get some more people to follow the channel, because it creates a better algorithm when you guys tap the screen, when you guys give me some gifts. Not that I'm asking, I mean, if you guys want to, I don't charge anything for being here, and give out information and give out insights. All that you can do to pay me is follow the channel and give me some likes. Tap the screen. That's all I ask. 250 a leg. Rosario, what do you mean 250 a leg? Only. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Trails, thank you for the follow. PHX, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. What do you think of NVIDIA? NVIDIA, that's one of the big ones, one of the big dogs. It's been trying to hit resistance, or it's been hitting resistance at 135. NVIDIA's got a lot of good news. Today, I shared at the beginning of the live. I'm here Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. So at the beginning of the live today, around 9, I shared that Elon Musk, in an interview today, he mentioned that his company is going to continue to buy NVIDIA chips for the AI, um, that he's developing for self-driving. And he mentioned, he was specific. He said he was going to buy about a million, um, a million chips from NVIDIA. And I don't know if that's something that he had already mentioned. He said he did say that today, that he was going to continue to buy from Nvidia, and he was going to buy about a million Blackwell chips. Which, if you guys know, those things are, they cost pretty good money. Um, I saw that some of the Blackwell chips range from $10,000 to $30,000 and $40,000 for one, and this guy is gonna buy a million. So, I mean, you can do the math, and all of that is revenue for Nvidia. So, if Nvidia has reports next week, next Wednesday, in the guidance, if they mention that they're gonna have better revenue than expected, that's going to have Nvidia go to all-time highs. I don't like to play the earnings, so I am in a position in Nvidia, and I'm trying to get out of it before earnings next Wednesday, because I don't like to play that. But you know, I think they're, in my opinion, they're gonna have good news. They're gonna have good revenue. They're gonna have good guidance. But again, sometimes the market does whatever they want. Even if Nvidia reports good earnings, the stock market could still go to, you know, or Nvidia could go to crap if the market doesn't like something that Nvidia says. All right, continue. Let's see. So I follow. Okay, I got the Nvidia question. What do you use to trade? Callan, I use Charles Schwab for the long term, and I use Robinhood for the swing trades. I'm probably gonna switch to maybe Fidelity in the future for swing trading, but as of now, I'm comfortable with Robinhood. I don't short stocks, so for now, I'm okay with that. But I want to switch it so that I can, do a little bit of shorting on some stocks. Took some Lotto calls on Tesla, either eating steak or sandwiches tomorrow. That's funny, man. The ampersand. So ampersand three times. Took some Lotto calls on Tesla, either eating a steak or sandwiches tomorrow. Hey, Elon Musk had really good news on Tesla today, because what I was fearing. I'm not in Tesla right now. I just think it's very expensive and it has a high PE ratio. But I mean, Tesla does whatever it likes because it has horrible earnings and then still pumps. So Elon Musk said that they are still on track to releasing the robo taxi next month. By the end of the month, I think he said they're gonna have about 1,000 robo taxis in operation, and then by the end of the year, we should see around 100,000. Okay, in Texas, because he's gonna start in Texas. Then he's going to roll out some of those taxis in Los Angeles and then San Francisco, because he's bringing those to California, and that those are great news for the stock. I think he released those news after the market closed, so Tesla didn't really move after that. And right now, let's see, we can take a look at what is Tesla looking like right now. I mean, it's a little down, it's a little dropping a little bit, but it out of all the stocks, Tesla is the only one in the green right now, at 345. So with those news, I I mean, I don't know. Tesla does whatever it likes to do, but based on the news, I think it's gonna pump tomorrow. So you might wake up in the green, and you might be able to eat some of that steak. Okay, if you do, get some of that New York steak. So good luck to you, man. Even Snap, Sergio. You mean Snapchat or or what do you mean? Sergio. So if you can give me a ticker symbol, we can look at Snapchat. Investor, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. PHX Landscape, thank you for the follow. I love the content already. Trails, appreciate it, man. If you're following the channel, recommend it, and then share the live. That is well appreciated. Can I pay you to train me? I own big business in Atlanta. Trails, I don't train anyone, man. Just because I just don't have the time. I don't have the time. I do this on the side. I trade in the morning. I'm a swing trader, so I'm not sitting in front of the computer all day. So I buy in the morning, and then I sell probably a couple weeks later. Now, in the case of the dip that happened for the past month and a half, I did buy the dip every time the stocks were dipping, especially Nvidia. I kept buying the dip, and and I'm trying to get out of that position by possibly Friday, because I'm already positive in that stock. So I do trade. I do swing trading, but I'm not sitting in front of the computer all day. I don't do this all day. Eventually, I want to do this for a living, all day. But for now, I have my day job, so I don't have the time to train people one on one. So I don't really do that. And even I think even if I had the time, I mean, I'll be making more money in stocks that I could make, one on one. But again, don't take it personal. It's just something that I prefer to do. I like to teach people too. I'm a teacher. I'm a high school teacher, and I, teaching is something that I really enjoy, and I enjoy teaching about the stock, the stock market. So, but one on one is just something that I wouldn't do now. Maybe in the future, but now I just wouldn't do one on one teaching. So, but you can join the lives and hope that you can learn some stuff here. And I'm gonna be dropping some videos in my profile, so you can check them out if you want to learn to trade or to invest. So thank you, Trails, for the comments, and I hope that we see you here during the lives. You think Tesla news with Nvidia chips will be bullish for Tesla tomorrow? I think it's gonna be bullish for both. It's gonna be bullish for Tesla, and it's gonna be bullish for Nvidia, just because Tesla bullish because of the news on the robo taxi, and Nvidia because they're gonna be selling more Blackwell chips. So Elon said 1 million. I mean, we don't know if that's real, but usually, the expression in the stock market, buy the rumor, sell the news. No, so I think those two news could pump the market. Tomorrow we don't have any data. We don't have anything that might move the market other than the stuff that happened today with the interview with Elon Musk. So those two stocks might wake up in the green tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Rosario, do you speak Spanish? I do. I do. That's my first language. But I started doing some lives in Spanish, but I didn't get a lot of love from the community, from the Spanish speaking community. So I switched it, and now I'm doing the lives in English, and I get a little bit more support. So so I think I'm gonna keep doing it in English. And I have the first videos I have. If you guys go to my profile, you might find them in Spanish. But the late videos that I've done, or the latest, they're all in English. Juan, Olis, hey, Olis, what's up, Juan? Thank you for joining the live, man. I don't know if you've been investing. I know you were buying some stocks back in the day when the last time we spoke. So I don't know if you've been buying some stocks, buying the dip that happened a month ago. So if you are, I hope you're in the positive and you're making some money, man. And if I can pick your brain, maybe you know a lot of stuff about stocks too. We can work off each other and make some profits, make some money. Can you see my VD trails? What does that mean? Oh, my messages on TikTok? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't checked my messages on TikTok. I usually check them after the live, and I'll check them if you send me a message. For those of you guys that are in the live, as a token of appreciation, if you guys want to learn about stocks, I have a PDF book that teaches you about how to read charts. And the PDF is I can give it to you for free, just because again, appreciation for you guys being in the live. So if you guys send me an email, or not an email, a message and on TikTok with your email, I can just forward you that PDF for free, and yeah, you guys can take a look at it. A lot of people who have been joining my lives for the past week, they've been asking me about that book, and I give it to them for free. And you can ask. I don't know if there's anyone that already received that book, but again, no catch. Just send me your email. I'll send it to you for free. That way you can get started on how to read charts. What platform is that? Like this one here? This is called TradingView. Um, there are a lot of platforms that you can use to analyze stocks. I like TradingView because I already pay for it. But there are a lot of other platforms that you can use. Thinkorswim, that's another popular one that a lot of the pros use. Um, let's see. What platform? Oh yeah, I answered that question. TradingView. Oh yeah, ampersand. Thank you for sharing that. Juan, teach me how to trade. I don't know if you're trading, Juan, or you are investing. Which one are you doing? You're just trying to do like day trade or swing trade. What's your plan, man, with stocks? Um, Whoa, he's not responding. Trails, what do you mean? Like the messages, like I said, I'm not looking at the messages right now. I will be looking at the messages on TikTok, not the comments, right? The messages. I'll be answering messages later after the live. See, blah blah blah. Rosario, thank you for the gifts, Rosario. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for the roses. Appreciate it. Sorry, I respond to that a little late. I look at this on my screen on the computer, so on the computer they don't come up on the live as they do on the phone. So it just takes me a little second to react to that, but I appreciate you giving me those gifts. So, and if you guys are here, if you guys can tap the screen, like the live, that's the only prize for me being here answering your questions. So appreciate you guys being here and giving me a little bit of your time this beautiful Tuesday night. Let's see. Let's continue with the questions. Tap support the live. Thank you, Rosario. Thank you for that support. So follow tap for the lives, guys. Luke, what do you think about CoreWeave? Luke, send me the ticker symbol. I can look it up. User, thank you for the follow, user. Juan, thank you for the share live. Thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate that, Juan. So you didn't tell me, Juan. Are you trying to do trading or just investing long term? Because we can, I can talk about a plan for both. Gina, thoughts on HD Home Depot? Gina, I had Home Depot at one point, but it kind of disappointed me because it kept dropping. So Home Depot, really quick. I mean, I can already see on the daily candles, it's hitting the 200 SMA, so the 200 average, and it hit that, it rejected. So you see this red candle. When you have red candles like this, typically they tend to follow. But Home Depot has been trending in that area of 370 and 380. So my educated, prediction is that tomorrow is probably going to be in that same trend, unless there are some good news about tariffs and with Canada and Mexico, which Home Depot does a lot of trade with Canada for wood and other materials. And they have good news that the tariffs are going to be dropped for some materials, then I could see Home Depot probably breaking that resistance. But for now, I mean, it's been really not recovering those highs from back before the tariffs. Okay, because it has a, let's see, an all-time high at around 430, so somewhere around this area. Okay, but it has a lot of resistance too at 418, 415, somewhere around that area. So it's still far away from other resistances, and as of now, it's just being rejecting the 200. That's the first time. So usually, in order to break resistances, if there are no catalyst news, they just take a while to break resistances. So we'll see. Rosario, there is a lot on what, Rosario? Spanish speaking, there is a lot of people that I know looking for training. I know, Rosario, but I mean, maybe I wasn't patient enough to get enough people into the videos and doing them in Spanish. Maybe it was the time, because I was also live on the live video between, I think it was around 6:30 to 8, something like that, and I wasn't getting a lot of people in the lives during those times. And then I switched it to 9 to 11, and I get a little bit more people in the community, joining. Maybe a lot of you guys are ready to go to bed and are watching the phone, as you're going to bed, or trying to sleep and watching something. Maybe that's a reason. So I don't know. I might try it again. sometime, just because that was the main point. I wanted to help, people who at one point, uh, or now, feel like I felt at one point. Because at one point I was frustrated with learning all of this stuff. I had no support. I had nobody that could help me understand how stocks work. And because I knew there was a lot of potential doing this kind of stuff, but I just never had the support, never had people around me that did this kind of stuff. And I had to find my way, find my own mentor, find my courses, find my own way to study, and then find also what kind of trader I wanted to be. Because there are many kind of traders. There are some traders that do it all, but most traders, they either trade during the day because that's their expertise. Some other traders, they do daily trading, and some other traders are experts in scalping, which is they're buying and selling every minute or every 5 minutes whenever the stock makes sense for them. So it took a little while for me to discover what kind of trader I was and what kind of life I wanted to have, based on the trading I was making. So anyways, I might try it again, Rosario, some other time. But for now, I think I want to stick with one. See if I can create a community that can get some value out of the stuff that I know, and then maybe take the next step. Can you explain candlesticks? Absolutely. So, period. Candlesticks. I mean, I have a video in my profile. If you guys haven't checked that out, explaining a little bit of candlesticks, that's the first part. I'm going to be dropping one every few days so that you guys have time to look at the first one, because it's about a 10-minute video. It's not that long, but it does take a little time to get familiar with some of the terms. So just really quick, a candle, is that what you asked, right? Candle. So a candlestick basically has a body, and when you see red candles and green candles, that means that the stock opens. Let me get that tool. The stock opens. Actually, I have my screen here. What am I doing? So if you guys see all the way up here where it says cover calls, I'm gonna have this tool here. So you have the candle here, right? And when it's a green candle, so let me see if I can get that green on here. Okay, I think it's already doing. Okay, so when you have a green candle like this, it means that the stock opened here. Oops, that's horrible. So it means that the stock opened right there. So open, and then it closed right here at the end of the day. No, close. So it opened at the bottom, it closed here at the top. Now, sometimes you see these little shadows up and down. Most of the time, it's very rare when you don't have those shadows. Like this candle here, you guys can see that it has no shadow to the bottom. And then I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me make it a little longer. So so this candle here has no shadow at the bottom, but for the most part they always do, either bottom and top. No, this one here doesn't have one to the top, but all the meaning of the shadows is just that at one point during the day, even if it opened right here, no, if the stock opened right there, as you guys can see at the very top, um, at one point in the day it dropped a little bit. So as you can see in the graph here, at one point in the day the stock dropped to, this case is Home Depot, it dropped to 374, and it recovered a little bit back to 377, which is this area right there. So the candle, the shadow that goes above the close, in this case, which is this shadow here. Okay, that shadow means that at one point it went all the way to 389, but as you guys can see, the 200 SMA rejected that price. So a lot of the investors started to sell their shares, and then the stock went back down, and then eventually it closed negative. When the candle is red, it means that the stock closes negative, which means it did the reverse as the it's on a loop for me. Oh, Can you guys see? Can you guys see the live? Is the live working okay? Because I'm getting I don't know if it's in a loop, but let me know. Let me know if the okay. Yes, so the live is working fine. So the last example for the candles is the opposite, right? So I'm gonna draw another candle right here on the right side. Now, the green candle is usually because it opens at the bottom, closes at the top. The red candle is the opposite. The red candle opens here, okay, so open, and then closes here, okay, which means that in this red candle, now let's go back to the chart here in the middle. So in this candle for Home Depot, the stock today opened at 386 and then it closed at 376. So it opened at the top and then it closed right here at 376. That's why it's a red candle. So usually those are signs that the market or the investors are rejecting that price. They don't like it. It's too high. So they start selling their shares and that makes the stock drop for that day. So green candles open at the bottom, close at the top. Red candles open at the top, close at the bottom. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And that was a little short lesson on how to read candles. I'm gonna be dropping again some videos. I'm gonna put this red here. I'm gonna be dropping some videos in my profile so you guys can check them out, and I can give you more about candles and why some of them are small, why some of them are big, and give you more explanation about that. All right, so guys, again, if you guys can tap the screen, give me some likes before I leave today. That'll be great. I like to finish the lives strong. And if you guys have more questions about anything up here, I'll share that with you as well. So I'm gonna erase this stuff. And I want to share one more thing before I leave also. So I'll do that before we call it a night. So let me just answer the last few questions. See candlesticks. Okay, what are cover calls? Priscil, yep, I will share that in a second. What cover calls the same as just regular calls? Okay, so I'm gonna explain that. That's what I want to explain before the end of the live. So stick here for the next 5 minutes. Or in 5 minutes, I'm gonna explain that before I leave. So Priscil, you must have the stock acquisition. Yep. Shada, thank you for sharing that. I will be sharing a little bit of that in a second. Savichik, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. If you guys haven't followed my channel, again, I drop videos every morning with the news for the market for the day, so you guys know what to expect for that trading day. Gina, thanks, no problem. Gina, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Tlacuachona, thank you for the gift. Rosario, exactly. Nobody wants to teach you without making a lot of money. Yep, I mean I see it on TikTok all the time. I've heard from people getting ripped off because here's what a lot of people want to do. They want to follow someone because they want to copy their trades. And a lot of the people on TikTok, that's what they tell you. Oh, copy my trades, blah blah blah, and I'll tell you when to enter, and I'll tell you where to leave. Or they even say, look at this. I called this in the morning, and now it's positive. If you would have followed me, and that's how they try to sell their service, right? A lot of them, they do make money, but their situation is very different to your situation. They might have room to lose a couple $1,000s. You might not be in that situation. So copying trades doesn't teach you anything because you cannot make that consistent. Okay, and again, if one day they lose and they lose $10,000, you might lose your whole savings because you copied their trade, because the things that didn't work for them, they didn't work for you. So that's why it's a bad thing to copy someone else's trades. And most of the time when you pay for someone to help you, they're not gonna give you personalized training, and they're just gonna take your money. Tito, thank you for the lining, man. I didn't see that gift, so I appreciate the lining, appreciate the likes, appreciate you guys following the channel as well. Thank you so much. No problem, Rosario. Anytime. Join me on the lives Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. Tlacuachona, thank you for the gifts. Also the rose for the lining. Appreciate that. Can you check out TDMX? Technical fundamentals are very strong. Yes, I will do that before we leave. How long have you been trading profitably? About 3 years. So 3 years making consistent money. Okay. The other years I was very inconsistent. I was still making some money, but I was losing a lot too. What's up, bro? Good to see you. Thank you, Spider. Appreciate that, man. Period. Yes, yes. Okay, so the live was working. Danny, hello. Hey, Danny. What's up, man? What's going on? Good night, Rosario. Good night. Priscilla, follow the host. Thank you for the follow. James, hi. Hey, James. Thank you. Please let me know when you make your WhatsApp group so I can join. Yeah, absolutely. So I'll be making a WhatsApp pretty soon, probably in the summer when I have a little bit more time. Because like I mentioned earlier, I do have my daily job. So I that's the reason, one of the main reasons why I do swing trading, because that allows me to get into some calls, or buy some stock in the morning when I think it's a good buy, and then I don't have to be sitting in front of the computer all day waiting for me to get out of that trade. I could just wait a couple days, or I could wait until the stock hits my target price and then sell. So I really like that kind of trading. All right, so I'm gonna share something with you guys, and if you guys like what I'm gonna share with you in a second, please give me some likes. Okay, so I'm gonna explain the next 7 minutes what is a covered. Oops. What is a covered call? Okay, so covered call. Have you guys heard of that before? A covered call? No. Leave me what you think about that in the comments. If you have heard what a covered call is in stocks. No, no. Okay. So most of you guys haven't heard, and that's perfect. That's what I like when people don't know, because this is the knowledge that one day will make you consistent money. Okay, don't try to get rich in the stock market. I tried that. I tried to get rich when I first started, and it didn't work the way I thought it would work. I started making thousands of dollars, not having a clue how I made that money, and then I lost it all. So, covered calls and trading in the stocks, it's about making a consistent profit every week, every month, trying to get some money out of the market that will be in your pocket, every so often. So, let's get into this. Okay. So cover calls. What is a cover call? So you guys know that you guys can buy stock, right? Now, whenever you guys get to a point where you can buy 100 shares of a stock, whatever stock that is, as long as it's a good company, okay, a good stock. If you buy 100 shares, okay, 100 shares of the stock at, let's say it's a stock that is worth $10. Okay, so it's a $10 stock. Okay, I'm putting all the info up here. It's a $10 stock. So 10 times 100, that's $1,000. So let's say you put in $1,000, okay, $1,000 into this stock, and you bought it at $10. So let's say you want to do a covered call. What a covered call is let me raise this. A covered call is pretty much you betting that the stock is gonna go higher. So if I bought 10 shares, no, I said 100 shares, right? So I bought 100 shares, right? 100 shares. Each one cost me $10, so I have $1,000 in the market, and I want to tell the market, hey, I believe, okay, because I know this stock, I know it's a good stock. I believe that this stock is gonna go to $105 by, let's say, what are we today? Today is the 20th. Let's say by the 30th, which is next Friday. Okay, because all the covered calls expire on Fridays, so you can only have these kind of bets at the end of a Friday. So let's say Friday the 30th, so in 2 weeks, and I tell the market, by May 30th, I believe that this stock, whatever that is, I think it's gonna go to 105. Okay, So the market says, okay, that's what you're that's what you are betting. Perfect. So the market is going to pay you for this bet. Let's say the market is going to pay you 50 cents, okay? 50 cents for every share that you have. So what is 100 times 50? That's $50, right? So $50. The market is going to pay you $50 for that bet that you made, thinking that that your shares or your stock is going to go from $10 to $15 in by the end of May 30th. I think I mixed it up a little bit. Sorry guys. I'm getting the comments. The price was 10. Yeah. So the price was 10. The goal is for you to bet that the price is gonna go to 15. So sorry about that. So from $10 to 15. I was thinking 100 because 100 shares, but it's 15. Okay. So you're betting the market that your stock is gonna go from 10 to 15. Does that make sense? I need to pause it a little bit so that I ask if that makes sense to you guys. Does that make sense a little? Yeah. So just looking at some comments. Okay. So if the market is gonna pay you 50 cents for every share, that means that you're gonna collect $50 for that bet as soon as you place a bet. The bet is called a contract. Okay. So that's the term you use. So the market is gonna pay you $50 for you betting that your stock is gonna go to $15 but May 30th. Okay. Now you might ask, well, what happens if by May 30th my stock doesn't move to $15? The only thing that's gonna happen is that you're gonna keep your shares. Okay, you get to keep them, and you're gonna keep the $50. Now, what happens if it does get to 105? Well, if it does get to, I'm sorry, if it gets to 15, keep saying 105. If it gets to $15, well, because you bought 100 shares and it cost you $1,000, and now the stock went up to $15, well, you're gonna multiply your shares times those $15 that now your stock is worth, which is what, 1,500. So now you have $1,500, and then you still have your $50 that the market paid you for that bet. So you win $500 here, okay, and you win $50 that the market paid you for making that bet. Everyone with me? Now you might think, well, what's the catch? How do I lose money with covered calls? Here is the catch. Okay, I'm gonna erase this. Here's the catch. So erase all of this stuff. So the catch is that if by May 30th the stock that you bet was gonna get to $15 is now $20 because it had good news, and now the stock that you bet was gonna get to 15, it's $20. Well, you're still gonna collect the 1,500. Okay, that money's still yours because you decided to bet that it was gonna get to $15. So now you have your 1,500 plus you have your $50 that the market paid you because you placed that bet. Okay, or that contract. Let's use the correct term, the contract. So the market paid you for $50 for the contract. Now, because the stock went to $20, the difference, that's gonna be the gain for the market. So the market gets to keep those extra $5 from the stock that was worth $10 when you bought it. You bet it was gonna get to 15. You collected your 1,500 because that's how much money you made, plus your $50. But the remainder money, okay, the other $5, those are for the market. So that's how they make the money. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, so this is another great way to make money in the market. I'll show you something really quick before I leave, um, just so that you have a good idea of what that looks like in a real life scenario. Okay, so let me get to that in a second. I did place a cover call today. Um, it was a pretty small one, so let me show you what I did. Okay, all right. Let's see, where is it? Okay, so I think I can show you that here. Okay, so what I explained just now. Today I placed a cover call on Google because I have some shares, some Google shares, and I placed the bet to the market that the stock was gonna get to where is it? I think it's somewhere over here. Oh, right here. Um, 4 contracts. So I bought 400 because I have 400 shares of Google, and I said I think the Google is going to go to 175 by this Friday. So that's what I told the market. I'm betting that Google is gonna get to 175. At the point when I bought it, it was at 160. I think 167. I think. So I told the market I think it's gonna go to 175. The market said, okay, I'm gonna take that bet, and I'm gonna pay you $227. I think this is the amount. I don't know if you guys can see it on your screen. So $227. The market paid me that money today. Okay. Now something happened during the day with Google that from 167 it went to like 163. So it dropped like $4. So because now the bet is very far away from or getting further away from my goal, the contract gets cheaper. So I bought it, and I bet that the market was that Google was gonna get to 175, but because it dropped, um, the $227 that they paid me in premium, that's what it's called, premium, because the stock dropped in price, I was able to buy my contracts back, okay, and then pay the market. I think I paid him $48. So I paid him. I bought the contracts that I sold, betting that the stock was gonna go to 175. I bought them like a couple hours later because the stock dropped. I bought them back for $48. So basically, they paid me 227. I paid him back for those same contracts $48. So in a matter of an hour, I made about $180 just selling that contract back. Okay, because the stock dropped. I didn't expect the stock to drop, but it dropped. That was kind of a lucky thing, and I just made $180. Okay, in an hour. Now, if I would have waited, maybe the stock will continue to go up, and if it does get to if it gets to 175, then my shares are gonna sell, and I'm gonna collect whatever profit I got plus the premium, which they paid me $227. No, but I didn't want to wait. I prefer to make $180 and then maybe do another cover call sometime this week for next Friday and get some more money out of the market. Okay, so that is what a cover call is. It's just another way to make money in the market, um, because you can make money by selling the shares, but you can also make the money selling cover calls. Okay, and this works out sometimes for stocks that maybe are not moving too much, and then you have a price target, but then you don't see that price target hitting anytime soon. So you still want to get some money because your shares are there, your money is invested, and you're waiting for a good price so that you can sell them. But then you're looking at the charts and you're not seeing the price moving too much, so you do a cover call, okay, and then you bet, because it's a win-win. If it does get to your target and the shares sell at that price, you still get to collect the profits and to collect the premium. Okay, so you get two things, as opposed to if you wait and you get your price target, then you just sell the shares, but you don't get any premium. Okay, so again, that's just another way to get the to get a little profit out of the market. Uh, Kinda. I know it's a little bit difficult uh, to understand it the first time. I will try to do another video where I explain a little bit more of a cover call and how to make some money using a cover call with a stock. Now, the only downside to that is that you do have to have 100 shares. That's the only downside. So depends on what stock you buy. That might be a little pricey. You might end up spending a couple $1,000s, maybe more. It all depends on what kind of stock you buy. Okay, but you do need 100 shares to be able to do cover calls. All right. So are those options? No, those are not options. I am betting with my own stocks. Options are a whole different thing that I'll explain in a different video or in a different live. But cover calls is just betting with your own shares. See, one contract. Yep. Yeah, Tito. Yeah, one contract is worth 100 shares. So absolutely. It's hard to see. What's hard to see? Is the chart too small, or maybe my Robinhood, maybe the letters were too small. Where do you trade on? George, I trade on Robinhood. That's for my swing trading, and for the long term, I use Charles Schwab. Sabi, thank you for the heart, Sabi. Appreciate it. Chase join. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to end the live for today. I appreciate you guys being here, giving me some of your time. And just like if you have been in the live before, I always like to end my live with a little quote from different people who are market investors, and hope this types of quotes give you a little bit of a different insight. Okay, and I'm going to use this quote. This quote is very popular. A lot of the traders know it. A lot of the people who are in the market know exactly who said this quote. So I don't know if you have heard it before. If you never have, I hope you memorize it. Okay, this is a quote by Warren Buffett, and he said this a long time ago. He said, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful." And he refers to this as when people are exiting the market because of some news that came out, like the tariffs about a month ago. A lot of people left the market, right? So that's fear. They're leaving because they don't want to lose their money. They're leaving because they think the market is going to go to zero. Do you know how many shares Warren Buffett sold during the tariffs, during that dip? Do you guys know? Comment here. Do you guys know how many shares Warren Buffett sold? He sold zero shares. When Warren Buffett, when we had that dip back in April. Yep, exactly. So Warren Buffett sold zero shares because he said, I don't lose any money because I don't sell my share. As long as I don't sell my shares, I don't lose any money. I am in the market for the long term. And when people leave the market, when they're fearful, he buys more because, again, his quote, when people are fearful, you have to be greedy. When people are greedy, then you have to be fearful. Why? Because when people start buying specific stocks and the stocks go to the moon and the stocks are so overvalued because a lot of people are just greedy and they want more money and they think that the stock is going to go higher, that's when you should get out of the stock or the market and wait for things to settle, because they will, because that's how the markets work, because that's how the markets have always corrected. Whenever you have, all-time highs, that's the only place where the market drops. The market doesn't drop when it's at the bottom. The market drops when it's at the very top. Okay. So with that said, thank you guys for being here in the live. I will see you tomorrow. I hope you guys are joining. I will give you some updates in the morning. So if you don't follow me yet on TikTok, please go ahead and do so. And I will be dropping some news tomorrow morning, so check out that video. And without further ado, I will see you tomorrow.